Is it of any interest for you?
No, because he's gonna edit some of it, like the longer form. So the way he and I work together is, I meet interesting people, like my meditation guru, like different artists around, and I just have conversations with them, and kind of just let them share, like who they are, because to the blind eye, to the naked eye, you're just a seaweed guy, you know?
That's good. I started being Aquaman because I've worked on helping people with water systems
Yeah.
here in Bali, because as a doctor there was nothing to do. There was no fucking corona. There was corona, but no COVID. So hospitals were empty when I came here and said, okay, but originally, past whatever we need to do in our life to get healthy, etc., the main source of healing, or at least the basics, is water. So as with TAV, a friend in Australia that designed structured water systems. Have you heard about Dr. Imoto? So Dr. Imoto is a scientist. He took water, he labeled it, I love you. He labeled another one, I hate you, and I want to talk to you. And every day for 1 week, he goes, he takes the water, I love you. He takes, I fucking hate you. And I'll take care of this one. So what happened is that then he makes a cut. So after a week, the water that he loved stays amazing. The water that he says, I hate you, becomes black. The water that he ignored became disform, jelly. Then he swapped the etiquettes and he went to see to the dark water, I love you every day for 1 week. And it turns clear. So this is based on Victor Schauberger's, the 1900 scientist, that with Rudolf Steiner and Nikola Tesla found that the frequency that is produced through a human voice, a thought, the environment can create or disrupt or change a molecular form. So with the water, which we use in biodynamic growing system, yeah, what happened is that actually, so the frequency use of love, which now we know how to measure, finally, now it's called quantum entanglement.
Quantum entanglement.
They needed to find something really fancy and sexy to shut up all the scientist people that say, oh no, it can't be, like, but Nikola Tesla, okay, well, what do you want to say? So Dr. Emoto has recently did that, like 20 years ago, and he wrote The Memory of Water. So he proved, and with rice as well, he did the test, he proved that frequency, good frequencies, have an impact on water. Water is a medium to carry information to anywhere, but as well to the body and to the cell. So what he did to prove it, he froze the water, he made a cut of it, like we do with ice, and then he got into a microscope and he checked how is the molecule structure looking like. So if it looks like the pattern of a snowflake, which you can remember, we hang that in Christmassy countries when it's cold, and it's a fabulous pattern, looks like it is biogeometry or sacred geometry.
Yeah.
Depending on the frequency, you will remember cymatics.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, with the sound, bound, and the beads start to form a sound. Yeah. So that will happen to water. What we call it, it's called taking the memory out of the water, because water has tendency to absorb energies, frequencies. In cities, underwater, from people being really in a bad mood, having really struggle, the water absorb it. Wherever it can dispatch and people are drinking, well, you've been drinking the information of the water that has been carried, people's information. On the other side as well, wherever the water goes and processed through chemicals to be cleaned and processed, it still keeps the information of the chemical used in the water.
Wow.
Even though it might look, it's clean. Let's say reverse osmosis. Takes all the minerals out. But the water has still the information. And when we make the cut and the water goes through unnatural ways, which are 90 degrees, 90 degrees doesn't appear in nature.
So when water goes 90 degrees because it's an unnatural...
It loses its form. You remember now, if you remember a sound, you have a pool that is square. One sound goes in, and you see the waves. What happened in that corner? It
Okay,
kind of
right,
bounces
sure.
back but
Right,
dies.
right.
So 90-degree angles are portals as well. So whenever you go back into history, tradition, etc., there was always feng shui, Veda, biogeometry, name it. There was always something about frequencies and sound waves. So a frequency is a way to measure a wavelength. Yeah, so a pattern of a wave. If I measure the distance in between the two, I get a number. We call it a frequency. So, but with water, like light, you can program water with informations. I want to go very deep, but I will be able to show you as well what I mean. But in general, so you can use water to take the memory off, so it's pure. It's called alive water. That's what happened in the river. The water could be really dirty, visually dirty. Doesn't mean that you can't drink it. It's just, you can drink water from a river, the Ganges in India. It looks dirty, but people get miraculously out of their illnesses, or ailment. Why? Is because one is just sediment and dirt. Doesn't mean that the water is dirty. It might smell, but it's alive. So it carries no information in it, or the information of what the nature brought it. So when water goes through a river flow naturally, and it had chemicals in it, what happens is, if it goes through bumps of stones, it creates a implosion. Yes, it flows around, comes back and hits the implosion and energy transfer. What makes it transform water into another formula, H2O2 becomes H2O3. So it binds more oxygen in it. So now we knew that, but what's happening now is now people get fed up with the old system of controlling with old mathematics, and now we see finally, okay, let's call it just quantum physics. Fancy word, Tony Stark style, but at the end it is all things that we knew, but it was hard for people to grasp and to want to understand. But it's so logical because it's so ancient and so gut feeling right that it makes sense. So if I take water, I take the information out of where it comes from, which we have a device. There are many. We just try to find a way to recreate a new device that could filter water. You put Coca-Cola shit in it, and it comes not only clean water, but not only drinkable water, but if I can, I make a live water. If I can, I will be so close to the formula of your own water plasma that you're made of. So plasma is another state of water. You have gas, you have an ice version, and I have a liquid water version. There is another state called plasma. So in that plasma water, I could infuse information of anything I want. Ethically, only what we need. So you can, nature does it perfectly, but when you take water, you infuse it with your own DNA, the all information that you're made of. To that, you can infuse it with the wrong frequencies as well. Now, if we had to look at that, like Dr. Emoto, the water turns a bit blurry, not really nice, so it's gone ready to affect. But if I put information of maybe what you need, then I'll be able to transport this information to the core of your cell, so I can modify genetically or enhance what you already have, which is what we do normally when we go into a special river. When you have these Indian, just to name it, copper pots, where there's a specific form to contain the water to structure it naturally. When you drink it, the information, the love that has been put, or meditative, or the thoughts of it, the environment where the water has been taken, like Lourdes water in France, where everybody gets cured, because they resonate with that water. And it gives an information to your cells, and then your cell starts. So we measure that. It's called a micro voltage, or RP. So what happens is that it vibrates at a certain frequency. On top of that, it has electric charge, a -1. This is what our cells are resonating with. So suddenly they get the information, whoop, let's do the job, let's rejuvenate. let's make everybody work together, since every cell, trillions, 53 trillions of cells, are working like little small community. They have their own life. But they decide to all work together to make you look like you are. With the information they decided to provide depending on the environment. So dormant genetic and expressed genes, right? Some people are born white. They have a kid that comes in black. Where from? Oh, you had a gene that was dormant. Now it expresses itself, maybe through stress. I'm not judging, there is no good or bad. I'm just, so any form of triggering, we might get a change that becomes visual, that you see. Mostly we're attracted to that. Hence the Buddha had blue eyes after a few weeks of meditating because he got enlightenment. Now the enlightenment doesn't make the eye blue, it's the rising of the frequency that enables us then to see how he's got blue eyes. So there is a change from whatever we can see in that third dimension, right? Now focusing only on that part, how can we make people become the best version of themselves? So if I talk about what's happening now, and yes, I make conspiracy theory, which actually everybody's thinking the same, so there's something that really doesn't work. I mean, with 2,500 years, if their system were working, we wouldn't be in that situation, right? So let's say, yeah, what can we do? Can we change? We need to change. I've tried it. It doesn't work. I've tried to talk to ministers, and the only interest so far is, I need a new car, I need a holiday, what can you do?
Right.
That's all. And it's okay, actually. That works the African way. Well, they tried for many millions of years and they can't change it. So, okay, I can't work on that. I spend a lot too much energy. It lowers my energy, and it just not, it doesn't feel right anymore. Just to let go. I can't work with you guys. You know what? We want you to change. We need to make the change ourselves at the base of the pyramid. Now, you know, considering that one person take the control, or let's say make decisions for everyone. If I want you and you to make the decision that is the right for you, to change what you see, since if today you can make the decision that will impact your own future, how will you do? Well, you need to make a decision. How can you make the right decision? You need to be the best version of yourself. So at the end, it really comes to, you need to get the fuck to be healthy. There is no talk around. If I peel off every possible solution, which is just numbing the pain, which is just taking away symptoms that you might see, pain here, oh, I don't have money, or I can fix all this, but at the end, it's you're making the wrong decision. Yes, you're right. There's a big agenda that forced all these hundreds of years to make sure that you are not able to make that. Which, when you make decisions, you're limited by your language, the belief, your culture, right? Because it can only express a certain amount of words that have been chosen. Frequency-wise, we know how it sounds, what the impact it has on water. But imagine, you pronounce I love you to water, it becomes amazing. You pronounce shit stuff to the water, it becomes so dark that it's poisoning yourself. Now, you're made of 85% of water. That's how much you impact your own body and the people that you are with, right? So yes, it has amazing power to create shit in your body every time you say, like I use this word now. Luckily, the Black American made a really cool stuff about the word fuck, because it just sounds so fucking amazing that it sounds like cool, you know? But in general, if I do think of myself, I can't do it. Not only I pronounce the word, it has a specific resonance, but the information that I assimilate with saying that and the feeling that is a frequency that we can measure now, over time and over 21 days, which is a cycle in which you create new habits in your body, that's what you're going to be programming your body and your cells with, which is then what you will feel like, yeah, but my body is telling me that. I can feel my cells are telling me that's what I need. Yeah, because they've been swimming in that shitty environment that, yes, you created it based on the information, the culture, the background you're coming from, and a part of the genetic. But now if I tell you, well, you can change all this environment, we start somewhere. So stop focusing on excuses here and there. There are some solutions. The basic ones that there's no time. There is no time to make people aware right now of what they need to use, what I can do, what we can do, and what we started because we had that technology, because I've been working as reverse engineering, transforming waste, and water was part of it. I don't want to waste water. So we found a way to always restructure. The army was using it to take water from the sea, to pump it, and it's become pure drinkable water. It's nothing new, it's open source. There's nobody doing it in Bali because they're big business with Nestle and Danone, water safety. I understand we, Bule, white people, came and created the issue that we're facing now. And I think I'm not going to fight that. I think if I have a few people, local bandras, mancus, people that are, I mean, even in general, people don't care where the water coming from. They do care that it's coming from a bottle because it says it's drinkable. But if I can make the whole water, wherever you are, a plug and play, I say, you know what? I know it's overwhelming to change, to accept the shitty that we're being left with, and it's hard to change the whole mother. My mother told me dairy is good. My teacher, the university, I've been told as a doctor, chemotherapy is good. Well, I don't have not much choice, otherwise with my license, so I can't say much. So all these things being a burden, I don't want to focus on that. I prefer to say, look, you don't need to know that we change the water and that we make the water available for everyone, and then you're feeling great, I can talk to you, say, you should be the best version of yourself, which nobody does say no. Now we know pretty much where the root cause come from at. Like I was saying, you make the decision based on what you are able to say and pronounce due to a language. It's quite a fair bit imprisoned in what you can express, yes? Feelings cannot be expressed, it's a feeling. Now this is controlled by your emotions and your mental, which themselves have a root cause somewhere. Do I want to spend time working on what's the root cause, and psychiatrists, etc.? I could personally. I prefer to go a bit further. Functionally in that dimension, you do make this decision. What is your level, stage of frequency when you make those decisions that have a huge bad impact over the next 20 years? You make these decisions when you are in a guilt, when you feel not well maybe, when you're not on the optimal way, you're not on a compassion way. Now what can I do? Can I work on the language? I want to teach you another language? I could. There are many colleagues doing that modality and it works. All those modalities in functional medicine, which I'm doing now, works extremely well together. But now it's time a bit of overwhelming. I don't want to create more stress than you already have. When I take COVID, my kids, when I'm eating, another water, shit, what's happening? So, but what I can do is, if you accept to be the best version of yourself, there are some ways, and one is raise the fucking frequency of your cells, which automatically will raise the frequency of the conscious, right? Which is another topic in itself. But functionally, if I raise the frequency of your body, and you feel great, you went through a fast version, which is called fasting, where I give your body what it needs functionally, functional drinkable food. At the same time, we can detox all the shit you've been accumulating all these years. Suddenly, spiritually, let go a misbelief of I need to eat. Oh, they lied to me. I function much better without eating. You're doing the job by yourself. I don't have to tell you how Monsanto and all the corporate did pollute your life. So by doing this, I'll raise your frequency. You raise your own frequency. I'm just here to help and guide. I have some little knowledge, kind of work. Yes, work very well. But it's very logical. So I raise the frequency. Now your frequency is risen. What's happening? You bypass the emotion state. You bypass the mental. The decision that you make for you are called manifestation. So you manifest exactly what you want for tomorrow. Because if you feel great, feeling means not only you're in a compassionate love, but you feel that your body, that functioning body that was kind of triggering you to be, how would you call it? I always say to my patients, distracted. You have an ailment, oh, this happens again on my skin. Are you distracted? low frequency, whatever it creates in your body. Everyone is different. But if they raise that frequency of your body and you discover that you can be way more, after a few weeks you're like, shit, so all my ailments are gone, my cancer is gone, my whatever I may eventually even created myself is gone. Shit, how much more can I do? Now it's getting interesting. Because now you have a superhuman abilities. Not only that, yeah, you might have clairvoyance, you might feel better for yourself, but you are a person that people look up to. And those people need to see somebody doing better because it's a physical proof from what my doctor told me it couldn't be possible to, right? So now you become, for me, if I can help you and you can help at least one person in your family that was struggling with something, and it's just doing a form of a reset cleansing, then it's great. Because what I do is I help you have what your body needs, basic minerals, love, some breath work, and stopping feeding the existing inflammation, which is the wrong food. And obviously we have some science backed up research that prove dairy, sugar, too much carbs is doing so. So that's one part. Now Mother Nature gave us amazing products in life to use a long time ago, including seaweed. Now we get to a product that is amazing because it withholds 102 of the 106 minerals that a human body needs. Nothing new, we're always using it. Dr. Sebi tried. He died, poor man, but he was doing the promotion, especially on that, because it has an amazing properties to detoxify heavy metals in the body. There are many other products that do so in combination, including 742 hertz frequency that you can use as a binaural sound. Frequency can come in every form. You can create it, you can vibrate to it, you can think the frequency, you can use the sound, boom, has a specific frequency, you can change the frequency, you can use binaural sound, you can use healing energy, the one that you see, the one that you don't see, the one that you feel, the one that you're not even aware. Then there are low frequency and different type of frequency, like we're talking about 5G, Wi-Fi, EMF, so all this wiring in the home that has electricity going through. They create a magnetic field. We are nature. We get impacted by that. Now, whether we want to believe or not, I don't even care, but it is a fact. If you do accept finally that the moon has an impact on your wife and is getting on your nerves once a month, well, you better start to believe that many other things you might not say exist. The air exists, it's there, but I don't need to prove you that it's there. It's made of water. Really? Yeah, 98%. So, but this is an educational part. That's why we need communities and different aspects and form of medium and stories, again, and experience to go and making people having back their gut feelings. Because when women do that, they say, I knew it. I'm like, that's why you come to see me. Oh, that's why we met anyway. Is because one thing, which was maybe just the seaweed, and then the human contact, and the fact that we know other people, our friends, and we're on that island, and everything is quite exponential, that makes us, there is more. So what happened is that going with the flow, we worked with the water, because of my background of transforming waste to energy for countries, and we take plastic, waste wood, anything you can imagine, nothing new. The Germans did that because of the Second World War, and we reproduce raw petroleum. For raw petroleum, we know what to do. Make it to benzene, petrol, diesel, kerosene. Or you keep it as a gas, called synthetic gas, and you have an amazing amount of energy. Now, it is green, super green, but at the end, electricity, really? Is that something you really need? There are many forms of energy that we know of that was dumbed down. Nikola Tesla did. He provided electricity to a city, Colorado Springs, for years. There was no cable, but there was light and electricity. So, if you go into sustainability, then we need to undo. So, do we really want that? Do we really need it? And then it becomes ethical. Hence, Lindsay's working with us. And Tab, and then we found that we really can change the world, because everybody's focused on changing the world from changing people's empower. It doesn't work. We need to make the change now. I make the change with water. I come on the market just to have the seaweed, make people aware of how they are the power, because you are a creator. You create your tomorrow. It is as simple as that. But fucking stay in the presence. How do we do that? Well, you need to let go of a few things. Food, dying, whatever you thought you believed. Have the experience of how you can feel better, or sometimes even shittier, because that's mostly when we as humans are triggered to, okay, I'll let go. Okay, tell me, how can I live? How can I become better? And that's fine. No judgment. That's how we need to go, right? So doing that with the seaweed, I was starting being the Aquaman, funnily. I said, oh, man, the guy with the water. It's just something that I could help. I wanted to help now. And I see water. I want more best water, and I know about it. Why would I not share? And it needs to be shared, open source. I can't make it for free, but yes, I can. If we have enough space and I show you how to manage water, there are many permaculturists living on that island, able to show, but it's people not wanting to change and accept it. So I wanted to work on, we need to make people aware. And maybe not the whole family wants it. Maybe one person in the family say, I don't care about the rest. I feel I really need it. Well, can I help you? And I have to ask, ethically, anthropologically, you cannot do and redo what the colonial people did. So don't think for yourself. I'm here to tell you, I'm the white man. This is how it works. It's called a piece of paper. You can buy many things. You work for me. The more you work, the more you get this piece of paper, and you can buy more. Follow, as I say. Now, after 400 years, especially here, suddenly I say, whoops, we can't help you anymore, because we didn't manage to do that, so it was not in the plan. Go back to what you did before. Well, what do you mean? Well, go and do your land garden. You know, I say, we don't know anymore. You told us your version is amazing for 400 years. We lost track of how to do it. And then if I look, my grandparents still doing it, it's like, well, that looks like a shitty work. They forgot. They're using white rice. They're using Monsanto glyphosate to make it grow more. We told them, if you grow it 4 times a year, you make more money. Dollar smart, penny stupid. Now, we created the issue. So now, how do you want local people to still listen to a bully again? Even though grandfather is Nepalese, but they see in me just a white person. So anyway, the color doesn't make you indigenous, it's what you do. And I don't care anymore. So if I make you best version of yourself, if I can participate into it, and we will need to work with local communities to empower themselves to do way more. And seaweed is one of those where we start to see, Indonesia is the second, at the moment it's probably, the second most richest nation on planet. There's everything in the ground still, which Papua New Guinea, Australia and some other countries knows about it. They want the gold, the nickel and zinc, etc. But the waters around Indonesia are so rich. First of all, from history, if it considers part of Lemuria, or the old New Continent anyway, rich in history, rich in culture. They need to work together somehow. If not, let's work locally, thinking globally. If I make something different here and make local people aware of the richness of what they have, including their culture, their language, which Bahasa Bali is an old Sanskrit language. So the word that they are using is based on frequency. They say Om Swastiastu. Just the word Om is already the basic word of Buddhism and all traditional meditation techniques. So I can only work because I'm here, so working with local indigenous. So the seaweed came then, oh wow, they need to help the reef of the water that I've destroyed. So I work with Sumbakima Hill or Sumbakima Bay, where the last place where the local governance of water, maritime water, didn't want to spend any money there. They worked on different spaces where there would be more funding. Again, we go into that system, but okay, how can we work there? So we base on an index and a protocol on how to empower local community to make the right decisions, which we need to do a survey, we need to ask people. That's the first thing to do. Is my idea or yours or whatever ideas that we want to, how much do I enrich the soil and the water more than what I need. If the creation of a hotel is based on that principle, well, it's a fucking amazing and more than sustainable. Because enriching more the soil, for whatever I do, I enrich more the soil and the water, which automatically will help the local communities and the people living on that land, which is not going to be me, but their ancestors. That's already amazing. Now, who is best to make the decision on that? The people that own the land. They're part of their culture. We need to ask them. Nobody ever asked. So based on that, and that was Lindsay, because of her background, black, Afro-American descendant of Black Panther, not the movie, but I said no. There's a way to really empower local, and this is important to do. So we incorporated into that collaborative cooperation that we created to show individual. So we call it, for the moment, health pillars, 5 pillars or 7 pillars of health: the individual, the health in the community, the health in the culture, the health and the company, or company, corporate / business, health in an industry, and the health on a government. If it's all aligned, but we start with the people, because they create the company, they create the community, they created everything, because you're a creator. So let's ask them, what do you want? What, actually I don't know. Oh, interesting. Okay, we know why, maybe. Let's have a chat, let's have a discussion, let's share. Smart enough, I might not be the white Dutch looking person who's going to tell people again, what do you want to do? But it needs to be something very local that we all empower ourselves. So we learn from, why would they not trust us? Well, we need to accept. That's why the Black Lives Matter is kind of very important and triggering really simple behaving of what we should understand and finally accept. You don't need to really accept, you need to acknowledge it. Mm-hmm. Once it's acknowledged, whether you are strong enough to accept, which is really hard. I can't imagine. Like, I'm German, I keep hearing the Nazi shit. I can't anymore. Especially if stories are written just by winners or whingers. But it starts with, what do you want? So then they sign a memorandum of agreement, and then they decide for the next future generation. But it's so quite logical that if we empower and create with the technology we know, the low tech, I always look at the lowest tech, because of one of my part is, now as a doctor, my own question is, if somebody wants to come me to help him healing, I would ask him, what do you want to be helped? Do you want to heal? Do you think you need to be healed? Do you think you're sick? I need to ask, because sometimes it might be, oh, my daughter needs it, and she's like, oh, fuck. And I think, what do you want? Oh, you ask me? No, nobody ever asked me. Then I took that from Lindsay, but I'm very anal, because I'm very German in that. And it's true. It regardless any color, anything that we think, say, do you fucking don't want to be the best version of yourself? Could be. I would love to hear, no, I don't want, I'm totally happy. Wow, what's the magic behind? How? Mostly it's like, I did let go. I don't need to have a 6-pack. I feel great. And I'm so enlightened already, or whatever word we want to use, that I accept the way that you see me. I don't think I feel it's great. But nobody says no. I don't want to be, maybe there is something to become a better version of myself. Now we tends to water. From water we want to following the flow. And it gets to land, because we do a lot of help with permaculture. If you want to have access to water, what's the point of pumping water, reusing it, and it goes and drains back into the sea, which, because some people took lots of trees on that islands, on those islands, the sediment flushes. If there's no tree, there's no land management. All the water, the sediment, all the goodness leaves the soil empty, flushes into the sea, destroys the coral. Which the coral are there as a basic to create the rain, because they do create the rain. So it's a microcosm. I say, well, we need to tackle on every possible aspect. The human and ethical one is at the moment at the core. I do believe and feel, if I give you love, if I give you an experience, if I shake your hands and I spend that time to talk to you like I do on the market, that's why the market is so amazing, because it's just marketing. Yeah, that's where the root cause is. But it's more than that. It's I put my feet back into the ground. I ground myself, and I have a conversation with people. I say, I monitor. Oh, funny, you have this question. Okay, cool. So some people still don't know what is it. In my understanding, what's common for me, sense might not be for everyone. Also, no, some people still don't know what is a carb, what is protein, what is water. How do you think you're water? So all these things. So if I empower as a human level, whether you know it or not, that you have access to good water, I don't really care. If you're interested, amazing. If I can make the water on the Banja and the village the best possible water, and I see people thriving and being happy, it's already amazing. That will get their time to get onto more once they rise their own frequency, having access to what they put in and on your body. That makes your body thrive, right? Many modalities, but then we started to work on, oh shit, if I want to make it a process really fast, and I cannot educate people within 5 minutes, it's overwhelming for people, and it's lots of information on the net and everything, and we need more people to educate more people or to share some simple knowledge. I said, well, okay, there are some people that really need more than just that water help only. This is down the line. They need the cure. They need maybe now something really important. And we work on all these tools, frequency tools, all system, meditation, etc. But we were able to finally have somebody who is an amazing world champion tennis player, which I will not name the name, but he decided, I want that. We need to help other people on a different level, on a different point of view modality. If some people see some sportsmen living at the top of their range, having a normal life, being able to recover faster, having access to modalities and tools all put one together into what we're doing here in a capsule, I'll put you in, but then you recover fast. So you spend more time with your family, you have more of those, and you're not being told again, 30, you're going to stop your career. Really, why that? Am I too old for that? No, because you didn't teach me how to recover fast, because you've been following a system that is not working, obviously. So we have all these modalities, and we make those tools, and we can at that time making an open source. I take one of those tools that creates DMT with light, for example, which we do have, without having to access ayahuasca, other type of meditation, mushrooms, etc. And you say, oh, I think that will help in my community. Can I have that? Yeah, we made a product out of that. Of course, we need to be self-sustained. And on top of that, I can help a whole community. Yeah, take it. Now, let's keep it sustainable. It needs to be circular economy. There's no point of me to produce it here and to send it to the US. They should produce it there, maybe under guidance and license, whatever the terms of whatever tools we still have that we need to use due to the transition to a new paradigm. Let's work all together into that. Put the energy into the new paradigm. Stop fighting the old system. It's just lowering your frequency. It doesn't work. Focus on that new one. Whenever you guys are ready, and let go, mom, dad, believe. Whenever you're ready, we'll be here. We're not judgmental. Whenever you're ready, this is how we go. And one of the main source underlying is the sea and the seaweed. So if I do create with the knowledge of what we know, anciently everything was perfect, better. So the preservative people wanting to preserve the sea the way it is now, not to involve too much technology to go back to what it was. It could create too much disturbance. We don't want to go there. We don't want to take responsibilities. Now we're saying, why don't we work together on that one, guys? Because now it's time to help. Because if you don't change that, even you as a preservative, you will have nothing to preserve. You will not even live enough for that. So, or in big pain. I don't think we need it. So we decided all to work together because it's important to have the data. We can open source it. So we can create a biodiversity in the water. Instead of having one range, like they do in Lembongan, just one type of seaweed. If there's one bacteria, it kills everything. We saw growing one crop on land, corn. One corn shed, everything is destroyed. Let's keep a biodiversity. food forest, biodynamic, and let nature do it, or work with nature, be part of nature, because we are. In the sea, it's the same. Now, what's amazing with the sea, there is no rent. So that talks to some communities. They say, I don't want to spend money, give me money first before I change anything, which we have that issue in the northern part. So some culture that lives on water, fishermen, I say, I'm not going to do anything unless you give me money. That's fine, that's our culture. The Balinese on land, I say, but on the long term, we need it. I say, wait, I want to see money first. Shit, we create the issue in it. So how can we work together? So that community on the water is not going to do anything until I prove them that it's not going to change their environment. It's going to be able for them to buy a new car, to build a second car. Sorry, we have to use the same tools. And guess what? You're going to work less. Because it's easy, it's clean. You don't have to bomb. You don't have to go and fish 21 days away from where you live in Sulawesi. You stay at home. And guess what? We show you a process, low tech, that you take seaweed, you will have food better than that white rice shit you're eating. This is another part of education. But if you don't want to change, it's fine. Well, give the option to your kids. And so we try to show this is the part of, again, working with foundations and trying to raise a funding and not a VC investment that tells me in 3 weeks what to do and where's my money. This is long-term thing, so it takes a bit of energy, a fair bit, to all work together, but say, this is what we can do. Smaller, individual, small-scale systems that you can grow oysters, different type of seaweed that we need to survey in the water. Can it grow? It's not destroying this, so this is part of the scientific part that we have all these people on that island to do that, you know. But then we need funding and a bit of time and relations. I'm the white talking again to a local, which is okay. I'm not blaming myself. I'm not even blaming the person. I say, yes, true. But past that, can we please maybe do that? So whatever then the COVID story brought, and then okay, no access to funding right now at the moment we need, because season doesn't change. They don't care, the season. It's like, whenever you guys ready, I'm here. If you're not, I'm here. Whenever you go, I'm here. I feel probably better even without you guys. So we're doing that. We had already some permaculture, some seaweed farmer where we can start to promote basic things they already knew. In Indonesia, why would I change people's mind in the US? But here, bulung boni, rumput laut, the name of seaweed. What the properties are, we knew, we're still eating, I like the taste, great. It does a bit more than that. Did you know that it is collagen? And you're made of 85% of collagen. What do you think if you're made of 85% of the collagen? You should have it. Like water, you're made of 80% of water. You should drink water? Yeah, maybe the best possible way. And the best possible water, so you hydrate yourself the best way. And this is how it started, and making people aware. This is it. You can make seaweed gel. You can make, it's like with hemp. There's so many uses. It's a food. So working around the story about I can't create a license, and I don't want to go into licensing cosmetic or whatever is complicated. It's food. Just apply the food for what it is. Life is complicated enough. And start to breathe properly. It's a product open source. We try to open source everything. And these are really basic. If you want to make a certain value, resource or money, make it on something that people decide not want to do. It is suddenly what happened after 6 months. I said, okay, I stopped telling you how to make your collagen. I'll make it. I'll show you. I'll put the bottles. Oh my God, that's amazing. What? $10? They sell it for 400 there. Yeah, I've been telling you. But this is then the funny part of, okay, then there is a decision. I need to let go that I want to empower people with free stuff. And sometimes people need to pay $1 million to get rid of a cancer naturally. You know what? If I'm transparent enough, I say I charge you $1 million. Next week there's no cancer. Okay. What I'm going to do with that money? I'm going to be open source. I'm going to show people what I do. And I'm going to help millions of other people. You know? And maybe I say, you know what? I need a fair bit of that money so I can continue working on things like that. So that's why the ethical part of changing people, making a change in the life of people individually, which I take the time. because you want to see a doctor. You don't want to be a number. You want to see the doctor. How are you? How's your mother? How's mum doing? Well. I say, oh, you ask me? Well, great. It's very little things, right? But we tend to have been detached from that. So, oh my God, it's a doctor, or it's a policeman, or whatever it represents that we've been told. And then on the other side, we still need to work on, we need some funding to be able to work on these things we needed to, so I can make this product available, literally as a product. If I have a healing system like the Healy Soft, which we don't use, but it's a frequency generator, yeah, all these women are talking about. Plug it in, it sends the frequencies for your body, and then it reads out what you're deficient in and what you need. We have the root machine of that, which is an open source system called Dr. Raphael. He found in the 1911s already all the frequencies of healing pretty much everything. Now we're getting into a system where we're not in 1911 anymore, so we've been more toxic than that, and we need to fight a bit more things, yeah? But these are tools. Why would, gotta love them, they did an amazing job doing what they do online to promote this technology. But here we are, not everybody can access it because the word is short. So if we can develop a product and at the same time what we implement, that might sound Tony Stark style, like, yes. But I say, no, it's a tool you can use at home, just plug it in and play with it, and you heal your home family, your water, your plant, your soil. We should use it. It should be available for less than $100. Since nowadays we know how to produce something, I mean, at least that's why we have a collaboration of collaborative people that decided to all work together towards sharing their information, or another form, sharing the information filmed like you do with your community for yourself. So we all working a little bit in our own field. Doesn't cost much. It's just me sharing knowledge. Now, can I do this? Well, we're going to take a fair bit of time. It involves certain resources. Yeah. Well, let's find it. Crypto system is super sustainable. So if we keep all these things, like I said, with an index of whatever idea you have, creating a hotel, a shop, a restaurant, I don't know, a meditation class. How much are you enriching more the soil in that idea? Not much. Or maybe I do. Well, find out. Well, then you find out, actually, no, actually, I'm going to find another way to do that. And what we're going to do is using zero waste in a restaurant. We're going to put in a garden. We're going to make a permaculture garden. We're making local people learn from it. It's open source. It's for free. Or the freeness will come maybe from people helping at the same time they're learning to manage the garden up just by myself. Well, now we're talking. Does it feel better to sell it? Do you think that the world would love to have that idea? There are many doing it on the planet, but they're not expert in marketing, so nobody sees it. But let's focus only what local people can see, so the neighbors will see, oh, he's got a new car. Let it be just a new car, or let it be, he's looking good. Yeah. He's got vegetables. I never see him going and buy the grocery. I didn't see you at Pepito last time. Well, I don't need to because of my garden. And I reuse this. Once you're ready to learn, it's here. Come in. So we learn from the Banja system. Let's focus just globally on what we do here. So by this index of approach of how much I empower the soil more than what I need, that will create a richness. Now we have people having land, they don't know what to do. And you say, well, can't buy a land here. Well, you don't need to. I'm sure there are many people that have piece of land huge. They will say, well, are you going to enrich my land for my kids, for my future? Here, and you can live on it for 100 years. There you go, it's for free. Just share. So it is available worldwide, but it needs again some people to see it's happening on different level to find that's amazing. We're not alone, there's more than that. And then there are some tools that activate things very quickly. So we work, because of my expertise back in recycling, but as well now because of the cancer issue, finding a cure, etc., and helping 4.5 million people in Africa for AIDS, cancer, malaria. It's not little. It's not important. It is very important, but it's not important to tell people that it exists because people want to see it. They don't care about what the numbers. But we work on the probiotic and the quantum physics entanglement behind how much probiotics, living organisms, have an impact on your gut, have an impact on the soil. How much of the old traditional technique and tools and frequency tools we've been using by meditating, by chanting, by doing the right thing, by being in the islands of God where they do pray intentionally to have something good happening to them and to their God, has an impact that we can measure, finally, that we can prove for those who still do not believe the way it is. And can I make it a tool for those who really need, that they will look, I don't have time to pray. I think I have many other, challenges in life. Because there are no problems, many challenges. Choice of right wording as well. Well, you need that little tool? Yeah. Help yourself, use it. Maybe it's already so sponsored that you don't even have to pay. Maybe you come and do the offering for us in our place, or maybe whenever you feel better, there's something you can share. You're a carpenter, I don't know. There's so many more things that are so valuable. So there might be a way that an angel will sponsor or fund, or the crypto will sponsor part of it and say, okay, we found a way to, which we are talking about already, self-funding system. We put $10,000 into a funding system, and that creates 100,000 times 10. This pays for those who can't pay. And guess what? We don't even need them to pay, because it creates enough resource and value we need to have more people have access to those little tools, for example. Once they get over and they know they can do it themselves, they're empowered enough. If I empower indigenous local communities, the job is done. We reverse exactly what colonizing did. So you see, I'm talking about, yes, science, history, culture, and really what happened, which is a subject that is very important, decolonizing the mindset in any way. I try to decolonize the mindset. And look at doctor, look at my hair, anyway, because of my background. But do I need to wear something white so that you believe in me? No, it's better now to decolonize your mindset. You can listen to Dr. Raph, not because I'm Dr. Raph, but just because it's me. I had cancer, I had testicle, I have one left, I still feel myself, I'm still alive, and I'm telling you things that make kind of a sense. And I'm talking about water, and then the seaweed, and then everybody does his own research, but then it just all makes sense, and it feels right, and it's so much nicer to try to sell good things than to try to sell shit, right? And if it does help somebody on top, and you have taken a glimpse of something, and then sometimes along the line, you go back to Denpasar and your local, and you just see yourself, I remember Raph was saying that. Oh my God, it's there. Oh, it's here. You're surfing, you see it everywhere. Oh shit. I'm talking about mostly of the locals, because it's their own land, their own place, their own culture. So then we did a little job of reconnecting through a market. Maybe through a cancer, maybe through whatever, water. Or skateboarding, to go